Would you introduce yourself? Tell us your name and DOC number.
Derrick Moore Senior, 398-602.
All right. Or you, let me just read some information into the record. You're classified as a fourth felony offender, currently serving a 12-year, 7-month and 25-day sentence as a habitual offender, theft of goods. You have a parole eligibility is at our discretion. You have a good time date, which is September 12th, 2031. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
The case this morning has been assigned to Mr. Freeman. Would you answer his questions?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Mr. Moore, how old are you?
45.
Okay, and how long total have you served on this charge?
Well, this time here is 4 years.
So you've been in 4 years.
Yes, sir, since October the 23rd of 2019.
What happened that led up to all of this? Tell me about it.
Well, I had an altercation that happened with my 15-year-old daughter. I had some guys, it was 3 guys and 2 women came to my house and jumped on my daughter. And I reacted before thinking, got in an altercation with the guys, and I got arrested.
What were you charged with?
At first, they had me charged with aggravated battery, aggravated second-degree battery, criminal damage to property, convicted felon with a firearm and illegal carrying of a weapon with drugs, and simple possession of drug paraphernalia.
Okay, were all those charges true?
No, sir. The guns, they was in my mother's house. They was my father's gun. So whenever they gave my mom the guns back and all processed them. So when I made parole, they had approved that residence with the guns at my mom's house. But they gave them back to her and all processed that charge, dropped the aggravated second-degree battery to simple battery. And I pled guilty on, I think it was January the 13th to a simple battery and drug paraphernalia.
Right. Okay, what leads to all of your crime? What do you think your problem is?
Well, I got a habit of surrounding myself around people that I shouldn't. And I go back, I fall back into using drugs, and my thinking capability ain't, I lose track of thought.
Okay, what have you done about your drug problem?
I took every class here, Living and Balance 1, 2. I took Thinking for a Change and Rapids. Cajun Rage.
Okay, what did you get out of those classes?
It's taught me how to think and live a successful life instead of falling back to the old habits that I used to rely on, trying to use drugs to block my mentality. It's taught me to live life on life terms.
Okay. The supervision history is not very good. You've had 4 revocations and 1 supervision terminated on SAC. Your last revocation was on 4/20/21. I would take it that's from the incident with your daughter.
Yes, sir.
So those charges got reduced to all misdemeanors.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Looking at your community recommendations, the district attorney is opposed. Sheriff is opposed. Your family is unopposed. And one of the victims, Miss Ozan, she's unopposed. She used to be Miss Lydenier. I don't know how to say it, but anyway, your victim, she's now unopposed. How many children do you have?
3.
Do you have any contact with your kids?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How often you contact with your kids?
Every day.
Every day you speak to your kids. That's a good thing.
Yes.
Do you realize it's time to show them a good example?
Yes, sir. That's my goal.
Show them that good example.
Sir.
Are you ready?
Yes, sir. That's my goal in life, just to be a successful dad and a grandparent.
And what you've been in 2 years this time, a little over 2 years?
Yes, sir. Well, since October 23rd of 2019.
Okay, so you were held before you got convicted?
Yes, sir.
That's why you over 4 years. Okay, I was wondering. All right, what's gonna be your residence plan, your employment plan?
I'm going to 3608 Roe Gully Road to my mom until I can get my own establishment. Then I got a job working for the guy I used to work for, NJ House Level. And then my uncle, he owns his own maintenance and pressure washing business in San Juan, Texas, doing the plants. And he told me as soon as I got out and got my driver's license to let him know, and he'll put me straight to work.
I think that Texas plan sounds a lot better than staying around here.
Yes, sir, it does.
Okay, but he wants you to have your driver's license first, because we could arrange for you to go straight to Texas.
Yeah, yes, sir. I gotta get my Miss Book, the DOC lady here. She give me a paper to where I can get a, I guess it's called provision, something where they give you a year or something to pay. I don't know. She tried to explain it to me.
Okay, so you owe some money is what you're telling me.
Yes, sir.
Okay, but it could be your sobriety plan.
Well, I'm a co-founder of Celebrate Recovery at Word of Grace and at Journey Church with Pastor Russell Cobb and Pastor James Greer. And that's why I involve myself in that a lot.
Okay, besides Celebrate Recovery, you'll go to meeting.
Yes, sir.
Who's in there with you?
Captain Brusher.
Yeah, brush.
Captain, anything you can tell me about Mr. Moore? How long has he been there?
A little over a year he's been here. He's a hard worker. He helps us out. We just repainted the facility inside. He helped us paint the facility. He's a good hard worker here while he's been here.
Okay, your risk is moderate, your need is moderate. Your minimum custody. You have your high school diploma.
Yes, sir. I got a associate's degree in theology from Cornerstone University in Lake Charles.
Great. Looking at what they sent us late. No mental health problems. You own any medications?
No, sir.
The institutional record is good. You have a recommendation from Ms. Book. That you're a good trustee, you're skilled in welding, construction, painting, and general maintenance. You need to put some of that to use if you get out. Would you be willing to go to, I'm worried about your drug, is what I'm really worried about. It looks like that all of your stuff stems from the drugs. And your good time date is in 31.
Yes.
We have a program called the Steve Hall program. I don't know if you heard about it.
Yes.
It's a 9-month program for substance abuse. and they have other classes there. Would you be willing to go and give it your best effort?
Yes, sir, I mean,
Sir, can we put him into the RSAT program here?
How long is your RSAT program?
I think it's 6 months. It's either 6 or 8 months.
Y'all never thought about, I mean, he wasn't considered for that before?
I think because of the way the program is, it's, you have to be short term to be put into it.
Okay,
I think you have to have less than 2 years left to be put into it. But if it's a condition of parole, the parole board can recommend him into the program.
right. Okay, I'll consider that. I have no further questions, Mr. Dodd.
We have your daughter here, Shannon Moore, who wants to speak. Ms. Moore, could we hear from you now?
Yes, ma'am. I'm his oldest daughter. I have 4 of his grandkids. I've been sticking beside him. He's been gone out of my life since I was 2 years old over drugs, like he said. And he actually came home when he got released this last time on parole, and he was doing the right thing. He was around some wrong people, and so an incident happened that shouldn't have happened, but he reacted like any parent would react. I would do the same if it was one of my children. And I really do. I feel like he's going to come home and do what he's supposed to do to be there for his grandbabies. You know, he wasn't able to be there for me and my siblings, but he does have 6 grandchildren, and he has a house at my home where there's no substance abuse or anything. I work in the medical field. My husband works. We have plenty of room for him and for him to stay and keep him in line and be with his grandbabies.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
We appreciate you. All right, Mr. Moore, is there something you'd like to say to us before we vote?
I just want to go on, be successful.
Ready to vote?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Freeman.
Okay, Mr. Moore, you know, just listening to your daughter, you got a lot to live for. And it's time to straighten up and fly right.
Yes.
My recommendation is that I'm gonna grant your parole conditional on you completing the RSAT program at the facility.
Yes.
Mrs. Jackson.
Mine is the same.
And I do agree, you need the help. And that'll give you some tools to cope when you get out. So my vote is to also grant after you complete the RSAT program at Concordia. And in the meantime, I suggest that you work with your relative in Texas to try to initiate the interstate compact. You know, to go to Texas, you got to do an interstate compact application. They have to accept you. So I would start that process, and the lady that you spoke about, the transition DOC lady you mentioned, she can help you initiate that process.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, my uncle, he lives in Rapides. He just
Yeah.
works.
But well, okay, so
I don't have a residence over there. So
Yeah, they'll probably give you a travel
Yeah.
permit for that. You won't have to
there's a proper way to do it. Just be sure you.
Yeah, make
you do it right.
sure you get permission.
Yeah. Good luck to you.
Thank you.